Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift, and good evening to my international family. What's up to everybody watching behind the scenes on TikTok today? If you are new to the Pisces Tarot experience, go ahead and put a star in the chat. And if you are a returning friend, I want you to put a fish in the chat, because we love to recognize our newbies over here into the sea. Listen, y'all, listen. Today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse, which is a brief meditation and sound bowl cleansing, followed by some divine insights. Today, I have a download and an earworm for y'all, okay? I have a download and an earworm for y'all. Then we'll get into this overall energy reading, which includes some insights and some observations, followed by a tarot card reading, which will confirm everything of what I have told you. And then we will button this all up with some closing thoughts, okay? And just do the final outcome. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, some of y'all been up all night tossing and turning. Some of y'all been at work dealing with people and they funky energy. Some of y'all just waking up and coming in from just getting up for the day. Some of y'all just coming in from the club. Wherever you are, I want you to find those toothbrushes, scrub brushes, hair brushes, wig brushes, mops, brooms, whatever you can find that represents maintenance or cleaning. And I want you to put those emojis down in the chat, because baby, when I tell y'all I gotta, I'm over here, I'm bubbling, okay? I'm bubbling. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, here we go. Here we go. Before we move forward, let's take a moment to level set and ground ourselves. And the simplest way of doing this is by cleansing our energy through breath work and sound. And we want to take in some deep breaths and exhale it very slowly, okay? So with each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to release any tensions or distractions, all right? So we want to do this 3 times. All right, here we go. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. All right, y'all. Now let's clear up any remaining stagnant energy by resetting and coming in alignment. We want to do this with our girl Boo Boo over here. So here we go. Divine white light, I call upon you and ask you for your guidance and your wisdom during this reading. Please surround me with your light and your love. Help me to receive clear and accurate messages. May this reading bring about insight and clarity, understanding for the highest good of all of those who are involved and for the harm of none. Amen, 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 amen. All right. If y'all ready to get into this, I want you to get ready for this fun, interactive, and safe engagement, okay? As a reminder, this is a safe space. Your honesty and your transparency is appreciated. We have all been a fool in love before, and today may just be your turn. So if you're ready to get into this and have a dynamic time, I want you to put those cooking emojis in the chat. Cooking emojis. Because baby, when I tell you, I got a download for you and an earworm. All right. So it's deep this morning. All right. If y'all ready to get into this, I want to see those cooking emojis because here we go. Each day, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is showing me. And sometimes it's divine messages and sometimes it's earworms. And today I have a combination of both. And for those of you who rock with me every day, you will know I haven't been here for the last, 3 days in a row. And I had to take a minute to just level set my energy, right? And process some things that happened to me. And let me tell you something. I tell you guys this all the time about how you got to pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the wonders, the things that catch your attention, the things that you go, huh? The things that don't make sense, because the universe is always speaking to you and giving you insight about what is going on. You're getting insight and clues, but it's up to you to process it, right? And so I was in a situation where I was picking up, I was sensing something. And y'all know me of all people should be, trusting myself, right? But I knew something was off. I knew it was something. And I was just like, okay, what exactly is it? I couldn't put my finger on it, right? So I started paying attention to the signs. I started paying attention to the energy. I started paying attention to everything, but I still couldn't put my finger just on it. So I started asking very pointed, targeted questions, right? Only to my dismay did I find out what the issue really was. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay, now that makes it all make a whole lot of sense. And my point in saying that to you is, especially because I do a lot of love readings, okay, we have got to pay attention to the signs, y'all. People are speaking to us even when they're not speaking to us. Actions don't lie. Actions don't lie. People can say and do things that are so misleading, but actions do not lie. Okay? Actions speak louder than words, right? Don't let somebody make you feel like you're tripping. Don't let somebody make you feel like you're bugging, you're overreacting. Because see, what I was starting to do was I was starting to doubt myself. I thought that this was my trauma speaking for me. I thought I was being hypersensitive and hypervigilant and operating from a space of distrust. But really, it was my intuition speaking to me. And I tell y'all this all the time about how Spirit is always guiding you, how Spirit is always communicating with you. And it's up to you to pay attention to the signs that you're given. Okay. And so while I was so proud of myself because I was listening, I'm a little bit angry with myself because I felt like I wasn't listening. Does that make sense? Like I was seeing it, I was hearing it, I was feeling it, but I wasn't processing it, I guess you could say. So even with that being said, trust yourself. I want you to trust yourself. Learn how to trust yourself, okay? Now, the earworm for today is Jasmine Sullivan's song, Girl Like Me, okay? With her, all right? And so the chorus goes, you must have been wanting something different. Still don't know what I was missing. What you asked, I would have given. It ain't right how these hoes be winning. Why they be winning? Yeah. Nope. Hope for a girl like me. How they be winning. How they be winning. And I ain't want to be, but you gonna make a hoe out of me. Okay? And the question is, who is really feeling like this? Who is feeling discouraged? Who is feeling like you're giving up on love? Like you're irritated, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're angry. Like you feel like you're doing everything that you can possibly do to make these connections work with people. And it just feels like things are not going in your favor. but there's a reason behind it all. And it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel rejected. It's okay for you to feel abandoned. It's okay for you to feel lonely and vulnerable, because we all want love. We all crave love. We all crave these connections with people, but not every connection is a good connection. And sometimes when you come across these bad connections, it is a lesson still in this for you to persevere and move forward. Okay. Now, if y'all ready to get into this reading for today, I want y'all to put those tea kettles in the chat. Put those tea kettles in the chat, because baby, when I tell you this tea is coming in deep, this tea is coming in deep. So I want to see those tea kettles in the chat, because it is time for us to get ready to get into this reading now. Here we go. When understanding energy, it's important to understand that the universe speaks to us in an abundance of ways. And this universe talks to us through signs, synchronicities, wonders, coincidences. Again, flags that catch your attention. All of those little details, they mean something. Okay, they mean something. All right. So today, the overall energy reading for today. Let's get into this. The universe is always talking, y'all. I can't stress that enough. God is always talking. Spirit is always talking. However you reference divine energy, right? But spirit is always speaking. Okay, always speaking. So, what is the overall energy reading for today? I'm telling you guys, when this happened to me, I was so stunned, because I was like, I knew it. I knew it was something. I just couldn't put my finger on it, right? All right, y'all. So here we go. What is the overall energy reading for today, Spirit? Okay, Earth magic. Okay. Now, remember I told you in the beginning of this reading, I had to spend a couple of days in solitude just trying to get my energy together, processing things and whatnot. Okay. So earth magic, some of you may need to be doing some grounding right now at this time, so that you can make sure that you guys are level setting and focusing your energy. Some of you may be an earth sign. Some of you may need to go outside outside and just ground yourselves by taking off your shoes and walking on grass and just allowing the grass to recharge your body. Okay. Again, like I said, I had to go through a recharge, right? Because I was just like, so I'm not going to tell a story. I feel like the wind was knocked out of me, if I'm being totally honest with you.
Damn.
All right. So what is the truth that we need to hear right now in this journey? And y'all know that I'm going to be vulnerable with y'all to tell y'all how I'm feeling, right? All right, here we go. Service. I feel good when I can help others, okay? So somebody here may be an acts of service person, either you or your person, but they show love in ways, okay, that may have been missed. And sometimes this is important. It is very important. If you don't know what your love language is, please find out what your love language is. The reason why I'm saying it is because when I was dealing with what I was dealing with, I was trying to figure out like where the disconnect was, right? Remember I told you I was trying to put my finger on it. And I was like, okay, is it because I'm not getting quality time? Is it because I'm not hearing these words back from me? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? But if I don't know myself enough to know why it is bothering me, you can't address the things that are bothering you, right? So know your love languages. If you don't know, it's a free test you can take online, just looking up your love languages. Okay. Now, guides of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us today? This and that are true. This is about you being open-minded, having perspective, understanding the nuances and the complexities of things, okay? This and that are true. So this is saying two things can be true at one time. And that is very true. Case in point, I was picking up on things that made sense to me. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't tell you in words what I was feeling or why I was feeling it, but I was sensing it. And I was not wrong. What I was picking up was correct, but also more importantly, what they was putting out was also correct. Okay? So, and when I say correct, not saying it was justifiable, what I'm saying is it added up and it made sense. And this is why I'm telling you that you got to pay attention to yourself, your higher self. You're always being guided. Now, how is this showing up for us on our day-to-day lives? How is this showing up for us in our day-to-day lives? Don't ignore it. Whatever it is, do not ignore it. That's the biggest takeaway. Whatever is bothering you, whatever is standing out to you, whatever is speaking to you, do not ignore it. Especially if you've been through a lot of trauma and you've had a lot of hardships in life. You know, sometimes you just think that you're just being triggered. No. I want you to make sure that you understand that it's important for you to indulge. Okay, it's important for you to indulge. What is a sign that this reading can be for us? What is a sign that this reading can be for us, or it is for us? And I also tell you guys all the time, there's a lesson in everything. If you have some time on your hands, I strongly recommend, especially for women out there, to read Tina Knowles' memoir. Very good. I read it in 2 days, all 400 pages. All right, here we go. Yin and yang. This is about balance. This is about balance with this yin and yang. Okay, so you may be seeing this symbol, but you may be seeing a lot of black and white, but this is about balance, okay? It's about you learning balance. And our soul whisper for today. Let's take a moment to be honest with ourselves. If you know you can do a better job of paying attention to the red flags and listening to your intuition, I want you to put in the chat red flags. If you know that you can do a better job paying attention to the red flags and paying attention to the signs, the wonders, your intuition, I want you to put red flags in the chat. Okay? All right. All right, here we go. Confidence. This is about confidence with this sunflower, all right? So you may be feeling like your confidence is being attacked right now. We already talked about it briefly, but I mentioned it earlier when I talked about, feeling discouragement, right? Feeling as if you are not enough. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Don't let anybody make you feel less than unnecessarily. Okay? Don't let anyone else try to control your narrative about how you look and feel about yourself. All right? So this is about confidence, okay? The man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both right. What did this other card say? What did this other card say already? This and that are true. This and that are true. Okay? The man who thinks that he can and the man who thinks that he cannot are both right. Anything that has ever been birthed into existence has likely been fought with doubt and uncertainty at some point. When you reveal part of your soul to others, it is natural to feel some degree of vulnerability and uncertainty, but you must not allow this fear to cause inaction. In taking your greatest risk, you allow your greatest achievements to flight. Surround yourself with those who support and inspire you. This will help you to build your self-confidence and enable you to shine brightly on your own. When you surround yourself with people who are positive, who chase dreams and choose fulfilling paths in their lives, you are more likely to live your own life in the same way. Look at the people around you and ask yourself whether your true self is aligned with the attitudes and behaviors of these individuals. Make adjustments where necessary. Doubt will often be a part of the process. Acknowledge it, embrace it, and ready yourself for the next step. This is about you celebrating your beliefs, being self-reassured, being poised and forthright. This is also about you overcoming shyness, tentativeness, apprehensiveness, and timidity. All right. This deals with your solar plexus. Okay. Which the solar plexus are dealing with your enthusiasm, your positivity, and your intellect. Okay. Now, the sunflower constantly readjusts itself in position in order to face the sun, serving as a reminder that you should always be confident in who you are and to allow yourself to shine brightly. Okay. Now, as we start to look at personal insights, okay, it's important to focus on what resonates with you, with the potential parties that are involved, and leave what doesn't. You will never, ever, okay, ever go to the store and buy some shoes that don't fit, okay? So with that being said, don't make a message be about you if it's not about you, okay? Now, it's a lot of doubting. I'm feeling doubted. Doubt. That's a lot of that I'm picking up on this morning. All right. The first sign, Mercury retrograde, electronic issues, communication issues, reviewing everything. Well, we just came out of Mercury retrograde. So something may have went wayward during Mercury retrograde. Remember, we went through Mercury and Venus retrograde. And if you will recall, during the month of March and April, I told you guys that is not the time for new relationships to start. And if they started during this period, they would not last either. Y'all remember that, right? All right. So it may have started during Mercury retrograde, the issues, okay? Somebody's confidence has definitely been attacked. I'm not going to call it low self-esteem, but in a sense it is. Feeling very doubtful, feeling like you're not good enough, like feeling overlooked and overshadowed. Not understanding, don't have clarity. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I went to go pick this card up, but this one flipped out. Okay, so somebody may be penny pinching, financially struggling, saving up or budgeting. But the card that I was going to pick up was graduation day, leveling up, lessons learned, acquired wisdom. And so whenever we talk about this, okay, I always talk about somebody going to the next level. And if you've been listening to what I was saying, you know, paying attention to yourself, you are leveling up when you do that, you know, following up with who you are, paying attention to the signs and the synchronicities. But yeah, you know what? Something may be going on with a sneaky link. And the reason why I'm telling you this, I'm going to keep this card because I was going to go pick up that penny pinching card. But the sneaky link card, when I went to go pull this card, sneaky link was at the bottom. Okay. And so I was like, but now I'm seeing it again. Okay. So there is a sneaky link here. There's a hidden lover, a low key situation, and a side piece somewhere. Okay. I am definitely not surprised. All right. What is the tea? What is the tea? Somebody's creeping. Somebody's creeping. Okay. Told y'all I saw that sneaky link. Which goes back to what we're talking about here when we're talking about trusting your feelings. Okay. Trusting your instincts, listening to the signs and the synchronicities. What lies beneath this? What lies beneath this? These cards don't want to shuffle. In their fields. In their fields. Okay. Somebody is in their fields. That card came falling out. Oop. Somebody may be doing something like this. No comment. All right, a broken mirror. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? What do we see? When we look in the broken mirror, what do we see? Okay, 2 cards just fell out. Avoidance, in hiding, feeling guilty, no communication. So somebody may be avoiding something, okay? Feeling guilty, no communication. Then we also got the self-love, which is what I've been talking about. Loving you, taking back control, finally being happy, okay? Finally being happy. So this is about you learning how to love yourself through something, all right? What is the true emotion here? What is the true emotion here? Okay. Funeral. Okay. Somebody got a funeral here. So you may be at the point where you're like, yeah, this situation is dead. Then we also had happily single, doing you, dating, stress-free, setting goals and career focused. Okay. So this card also fell out. All right. It's a lot of messages here. What is blocking this situation from growing? What is blocking this situation from growing? Too hard just fell out. You believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally into your life. Okay, so somebody may have some different opinions about what it's supposed to look like. All right. All right, Spirit. Last card. Is there any love in this connection? Yes or no? Is there any love in this connection? Yes or no? maybe there could be more between us, but I don't want to jeopardize our friendship. So this person has been very cold towards you, giving you mixed signals, which is what I've been talking about all this time. So this is about friendship. Okay, this is about friendship. All right. So I want you to drop your zodiac signs in the chat. Drop your zodiac signs in the chat because it's time for us to figure out who is who. All right. You may have met this person during Mercury retrograde. All right. But you may have been picking up on signs, feeling like this is a sneaky link situation, like you're a hidden lover, a low-key situation, or a side piece. The red flags have been there. You definitely may have been picking up on these feelings, right? Thinking that this may just be a sexual connection, but not sure about it. But you definitely have action. You have graduated. You have leveled up, right? Because you're proud that you're paying attention to the signs and the synchronicities that you may be feeling. You may be getting back to a place where you're like, you know what? I'm single again. I'm back on the prowl. All right. This is about my self-love. I'm getting back to my happiness. And you're probably finally embracing being happily single. And like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to put an end to this. All right. I'm going to put an end to this. All right. Meanwhile, person B is probably the person that's over here creeping. They're in their fields. Okay. They may be doing rugs, trying to make themselves have a good time. This person could be also an avoidant person in hiding, feeling guilty, no communication. They may have been giving you hot and cold signals. Okay. But they don't see this being anything more than a friendship. And that it's because they have their own barriers about what love looks like. All right. So if y'all are ready to get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Go ahead and put those magnifying glasses in the chat because, baby, it is time for us to get into this reading. All right. Here we go. Y'all. Now remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So if you are a cross watcher, which means I may not be talking directly to you, this is for entertainment purposes only. Even if I am talking to you, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't make something try to be about you that ain't for you, boo. All right. All right. So here we go. Person A. Person A is coming in as an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Where all my fire signs at? Fire signs. If you are a fire sign, put a fire sign in the chat. This is about the 5 of Wands. Okay, so your foundational energy this morning is completion, rivalry, conflict, disagreements, strife, and tension. Okay, fire signs. If you are a fire sign, you or your person is a fire sign, go ahead and put the fire signs in the chat. All right, person B. Person B is also coming in as an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in reverse, coming in as the 4 of Wands, okay, with the foundational energy. So we have 2 fire signs here. And that's again Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, okay? Coming in as personal celebration, inner harmony, conflict with others, lack of support, breakdown in communication, home conflict, transition, and transience. Okay, so there's a lot of conflict here, all right. Oh, child, if y'all ready to get into this business, I need y'all to go ahead and put those coffee cups, wine glasses, whatever your favorite beverage is, go ahead and put it in the chat because, baby, it's time for us to zoom in. We listen, we don't judge, but we sure finna get some information and to reflect and pay attention. All right. If y'all ready to get into this reading, here we go. All right, y'all. Homegirl said, why do the hoes be winning? Why do they be winning? You gonna make a hoe out of me. Woo-wee. Ooh. All right. What is going on with my fire signs today? All right. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Person A, you are coming in right now as the Four of Swords, okay? You are taking time back to take a step back and to reflect over everything that has been happening. I feel like person A in this has been torn, okay? I feel like person A in this is definitely feminine energy. But I also feel like this person has been very conflicted in how they've been feeling about things. Going back to what I was saying during the download is that I feel like you may have been trying to put your finger exactly on what was going on here. I feel like you have been trying to pinpoint where exactly the disconnect is. And for you, it has been very, very frustrating and very nuanced, right? Because it's like you're picking up on signs, you're picking up on indicators, but it's like it feels like you have been trying to like make sure that you're not overreacting, if that makes sense. And so you have just like kind of taken a step back to reflect over what you've been experiencing and what you've been feeling. It definitely feels like you've been like, things have just been off. Okay. Things have been off, but you can't necessarily figure it out. And it feels like you've been very frustrated with that. If you know that you've had to take a step back recently from your person, I want you to go ahead and put the red light in the chat, because it feels like you've had to take a step back altogether. And this was very perplexing to you. Okay. Very perplexing to you. All right. Now, person B in all of this. Wait, before we can even get to person B, 3 cards just came over. Okay. Person A. Person A, the conflict in all of this is that this person was coming to you, telling you all the sweet nothings. You know, they were coming to you, building up your confidence. They were coming to you, making you feel like a breath of fresh air. Okay. And I'm saying that because I got the Page of Cups followed by the Queen of Wands. And then I got the World card. Okay. This person was coming towards you, making you feel like this was something different about them. They made you feel like you finally, again, leveled up. We already talked about that. But when this person came around you, we definitely started to feel like, okay, I finally came into meeting somebody that I'm worthy of. Okay. Somebody who makes me feel beautiful. Somebody who makes me feel seen and valued. Okay. But then it was also like, even though they were making you feel this way, their behaviors in communication and how they were conducting themselves was conflicting what you were being told. Okay. So it feels like This is what created the conflict, and this is what made you take a pause and take a step back. Okay, because it's like, yo, it ain't adding up. And you may have been asking very targeted questions because the math wasn't math and it wasn't making any sense. And I feel like you may have been trying to get clarity and understand it, and this person just would not answer your question.
I want you to answer my question.
All right, person B. Person B. Ooh, Two of Swords in reverse. All right, Two of Swords in reverse. Now, part of the reason why they may have been shutting down is because they had already made up in their mind that this was not what they wanted to do. They're not answering your questions because they've already reflected upon it, and they're just like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool. This person may have also told you they just wanted to go with the flow. And I hate when people say that, because I feel like while that is true, all relationships should go with the flow and be organic. But what do you mean by go with the flow? Like, what exactly do you mean by that? All relationships develop naturally. Like, nobody is just like going 100% in. I mean, I guess some people can, but my point is that it feels like this person left things very unhinged for a reason. They didn't want to define things. They avoided a lot of conversations that are critical and key to building relationships. And so this person has a habit of creeping. This person, and I'm saying that too because it goes back to the too hard. This person had a barrier in their life that kind of made them just shut down overall altogether and walk away from like love and anything dealing with those types of emotions. Even though they say with their words that they're open, they're really not. They're really not. They're very much so avoidant. Very much so avoidant. Okay. So when these conversations were starting to come up, they immediately shut down, and they didn't want to give you the information that they wanted to give you. I'm sorry, they didn't want to tell you the information that you were looking for because they didn't want to mislead you. But here's the thing. Their behaviors and the way that their actions was already misleading to begin with. So it's like, what do you mean? You know, but person A, let's be clear. You are picking up on all of this stuff along the way. So give yourself some credit, because even though this is disappointing, you were seeing it. You were feeling it. You were connecting to it. It was resonating with you. You was just like, okay, but you may not have been able to put your finger on it. It was something about this person that while it attracted you to them, something just wasn't right either. Wow. If you recently had a conversation with this person and it just felt like this was not going to go anywhere, can you put the no sign, the no, you know, the circle with the line through it, put that in the chat? Because it definitely feels like it was like, yeah, we're not finna have this conversation. We're not about to do this. It was just like something about this is just like, no, not even right. Everything about this is just wrong. All right. Here we go. What is favorable about this situation? We got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. All right. Now, the reason why this is favorable is because you have seen the signs. Like, everything was there. Everything was there. Everything was there. Everything was there. All of the signs were there. All of the energies was there. Again, you may be feeling like you're punishing yourself because you knew something wasn't right, But the thing is like you can't, how do I say this? You weren't wrong for feeling the way that you were feeling. You weren't wrong for feeling the way that you felt. And the reason why I say that is because they were doing things to make you feel like you had an opportunity, like you had a chance. Like this was something that was going to develop and sustain over time, only for them to be saying one thing and doing another. And this person probably could have been behaviorally conducting themselves in a way as well. So it was very misleading energy. And it feels like because person A here was picking up on it, you kind of feel like a sense of guilt behind it, because it's like, I knew it was something. So like there was a curiosity that was here that was allowing you to continue to proceed to move forward with this person, even though you couldn't necessarily put your finger on it.
What the fuck was that?
All right. If you know you were seeing the signs, I want you to put a green heart in the chat. If you were seeing the signs, I want you to put a green heart in the chat. All right. So what is consequential or problematic about this? Ooh. We got the 5 of Cups in reverse. All right. We got the 5 of Cups in reverse. What is problematic about this? What is consequential about this? This person had their heart broke by somebody else. Didn't I already tell y'all that? I already told y'all that. This person got their heart broke by somebody else. And this is why they weren't able to come around. This person had their heart broken by somebody else and was waiting, hoping, wishing, wondering, wanting that this person to like make a comeback, right? All right. Just see like how far they could take this with other people. But when you started asking questions, they couldn't just run game on you like they would have ran game on somebody else.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Okay. So it's almost like, why does this feel like this was about control? Person B was very controlling in nature. Okay, very controlling in nature. But I feel like this also kind of feels like that's their personality type as well. But they feel like they were very, very, very controlling. This person got their heart broke. They got their feelings hurt very badly. And it wasn't by you. It was by somebody else. So now they do things to like cope and to numb themselves. This is what makes them not want to commit. They make time for a lot of different people. And that's kind of like what you were picking up on as well, person A. It just wasn't adding up. It was like the things that they were saying, the things that they were doing, it wasn't making any sense.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
If this person left you feeling confused, I want you to put the confused emoji in the chat. If this person made you think, they left you feeling confused, put the thinking face or the confused face in the chat. And I want to ask you this question too. Had they not pulled the plug, would you still have continued down this path? Had they not pulled the plug, would you have continued down this path? All right. Now, what is this trying to teach you? All right. Woo. The devil card in reverse. Okay. The devil card in reverse. This is trying to teach you how to not attach yourself to unhealthy people, right? In unhealthy situations. And this goes back to what I was saying about you trusting your intuition. The signs were there. The signs were there. What was it that you were seeing that wasn't adding up to me or to you? What were the signs that you were seeing that was not adding up to you? Because I feel like there was a lot of flags being shown, but it kind of feels like you kept trying to override your intuition from guiding you through this. Like, I can't stress this enough. You were seeing things, picking up on it, feeling things, but it kind of made you feel hypersensitive and or hyper vigilant. Like, it made you feel some type of way. Okay? I think you thought that you were overreacting. That's the best way that I can put it. I feel like you were kind of like thinking that you were overreacting. Coming from a wounded place, not from like a sincere place, right? But this was very much so an unhealthy attachment to begin with. And honestly, this could have been a lesson from the universe to see if you passed the test finally and you graduated and moved on to the next level, right?
I'm not afraid to say it.
Sometimes we still get these dang on little micro doses of test in life, right? Just to see if you're ready. Okay? Just to see if you're ready, right? But the reality is that sometimes here's the thing. I know a lot of us get tired of feeling like we're being tested. And a lot of times you are, but that's how life is. Life doesn't give us the lesson first. It tests us. It gives us a pop quiz day one. And you're sitting here looking like, is this real?
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
And next thing you know, here comes the lesson. Okay? So what it feels like to me is the lesson in this was to see if you were going to pay attention to your intuition. How do I know that? This and that are true. This is about you being open-minded, having some perspective, and understanding the nuances and the complexities of life. You were not wrong. You were not wrong. You indulged in this. You indulged in it. You considered it. You went through with it. Congratulations. You were open. You were open. Only to find out things were off balanced. They weren't who they said they were. They weren't doing what they said they were doing.
All a bunch of bullshit.
But you saw it. You saw it. Let me ask you a question. What do you feel like this is trying to teach you? What do you feel like this current life lesson is for you? Write that down. If you could put it in the chat. What do you feel like this lesson was here to teach you? Ooh, I did not mean to do that. I didn't even realize I picked the cards up in reverse. I went to go shuffle, but let me tell you why this is funny. We got the Two of Pentacles here. So this person was definitely juggling you between you and somebody else. They had somebody else that they were focused on. Okay. They definitely were waiting for their ships to come in. They were definitely on an emotional roller coaster with somebody else. That could be the sneaky link piece where they were creeping. They had their eye on somebody else. Okay. They were trying to act like it was nothing. You know, granted, people are single. Okay. People are single. So you can date and do whatever you want to do. But it's only right when you don't mislead somebody into thinking that they have more of an opportunity than what they actually have. Okay? So the exposure of them was not, it was going to happen anyway because they weren't being who they said that they were with this Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay? This person came into your life pretending that they were ready for something more, that they was more serious, that they wanted to have a mature relationship, like they were actually looking for something else than what they were actually looking for. All right. So yeah, yeah. Now, what do you need to do to heal? The Fool card in reverse. You may be feeling like you made the wrong decision in continuing to proceed to move forward with this. You may feel like you were being very naive. Almost like you let yourself down. And what's important to note about both of these cards is that these are major arcanas that are coming in here, which means these are major life decisions. So going back to the previous card about your life lessons, this is trying to teach you that you attach to all the wrong people. So it could be a trauma bond. It could be like your trauma attracting these people. But again, I still feel like this was a test. I still feel like this was a test for you to see if you were really truly ready to level up and go on to the next level.
Bruh.
And I know that doesn't make you feel good, right? Because it's just like, how do I get past this test of feeling like, see, what's making it hard is it feels like you feel as though you have consistently been tested. And you're just like, when is my time coming? This is where when we go back to the earworm about why do the, you know, she said it. She said, why does it feel like these be winning? Okay. You must have wanted something different. Still don't know what I was missing. What you asked, I would have given. It ain't right how these be winning. Okay? But the thing is, why are you forcing yourself to be with somebody who doesn't see your value from the beginning? I know that we all have this romanticized perspective about people just coming together and falling in love and everything just being right. The reality is you're going to kiss a lot of frogs before you get to your prince.
Denied.
And some of you just may be outright discouraged with feeling like, why every time I start liking somebody, it comes down to this.
Embarrassing.
So that's that discouraging feeling that we keep talking about. Feeling inadequate, feeling like you're not enough, feeling rejected. But give yourself some credit in this. Give yourself some credit. Because as you were seeing the signs, it was all adding up. It was all making sense. And therefore, now it's like, oh, all right, well, since you ain't ready, Check, please. I'm out. Like, why would I stay here and keep on playing these games with you and you over here being an unserious individual? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? And here's the tea. Just like you're over here overanalyzing it and overthinking, because you are overthinking this situation, you're running everything back in your mind. You're playing it over again. Like, okay, what did I miss? What could I do differently? Like, you're rehearsing these things in your head. But here's the thing. You left this other person with something to think about too. So even though they may not be showing you that this is so funny, y'all. Look what I got on I got my closure hoodie on today. This is funny. All right. Listen. They gonna be back. Okay, they gonna be back. They'll be back. They're not used to somebody else walking away from them. Remember I told you they got a control issue? So they'll be back. They'll be back. They're the type of person where they want to leave you high and dry, but you can't leave them high and dry. You understand? So because you walked away from them, you started back tapping into your self-love, taking back to your happy, like, okay, you know what? I'm going back to dating. I'm doing me. I'm stress-free. Rest in peace to you. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I tried. It didn't work. Life goes on. Okay? Life goes on. But here's the thing. They don't like the way that you just left them. Like, you said what you said, you meant what you said, and you was like, all right, uno out. And this is where you took it back. You took it back. You took it back. Okay? You was like, you know what? I liked you. I thought you was cool. I was willing to get to know you. I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't put my finger on it. Now that you have enlightened me, I know it's time for me to move around. This person was not expecting that at all. This person gets a rise off of playing with people. You have no idea what a bullet you have dodged. Do you hear me? You have no idea. And here it is again. This person, I literally just said to you, you have no idea what a bullet you dodged. And here we go again with this Knight of Cups again at the bottom of the deck. They wasn't who they thought that let me tell you. Girl, boy, man, dog, woman, and child. This person was nothing like what you thought that they were. They put on a whole facade. So while it looks at the surface like somebody else is winning, really, you won. You won. Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. This person is so full of malarkey. They have a whole life that you don't know nothing about. They have ways to them that you don't know nothing about. And they would never tell you that either. They would never tell you that. What was going on here with this person? What was going on with person B? This Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What was going on with them? First of all, we got the Four of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Nine of Wands, followed by the Sun card. Okay? This person does not have any self-control. They weren't ever looking for anything serious. They will find something. They will be very targeted. They will go after it. They will create this feeling of excitement and hope. Make you feel like this could be something. They get a rise. Remember I said that earlier? I said they get a rise out of this. They get a rise out of this. This person loves to initiate and start things, making you feel like you got this great romantic connection, only to leave you high and dry. They're emotionally unavailable. And instead of them being forthcoming and saying, I'm only looking for a sexual relationship, I'm only looking for a relationship where I could creep with somebody, that's what they mean by go with the flow. They want to go with the flow long enough to get it on and then not be responsible or accountable for your feelings and your emotions. They like to play games. They like to play games. Why are they not being open with their relationships? King of Cups in reverse. They can't be trusted, that's for sure. The Ten of Cups in reverse. Their heart was broken before. And then Three of Pentacles. So remember we talked about them having this blocker with them feeling like things are too hard. With this King of Cups in reverse, they can't be trusted. They're very deceitful. They're not really offering much love of anything. And it stems back to they still are holding on to their last failed relationship. And that's what's stopping them from moving forward. They got their heart broken so bad this one time. And even though they keep walking around here saying that I'm ready for love, I want a partnership, they really freaking don't. Okay, they really don't. They really don't. And I feel like if you go back and look at things holistically from the beginning, like if you could replay everything over and over again, you've seen the change, you've seen the switch up. But I feel like person A feels a little bit blindsided. I feel like you want to know what changed, when did it change, and why is this the outcome? But if you really rewind everything, they started out being inconsistent in the very beginning. Were they ever sincere? Were they ever sincere? Nine of Cups. The Page of Swords. In reverse. The Two of Swords in reverse. All right. So initially when they met you, they were impressed by the nice and shiny object that you provided to them. They thought you, like, it's just, how do I say it? It was like instant gratification when they met you. But again, remember, I told you this is a part of their game. This is a part of their MO. This is how they move. Okay. So initially they were impressed by you. It was like buying a brand new pair of Jordans. Okay. It was like, look at what I got. This is so dope. But then they failed to come forward and to tell you what they was really thinking and what they were really feeling. So it was like, even though they were impressed by you, you were that nice, shiny object that they can, you know, play with. They weren't being honest from the very beginning with what they were really thinking and feeling. And that's what created the impasse to begin with. Okay, that's what created the impasse to begin with, which is what we already talked about here. So they started out this situation lying. Okay, just started out lying, making it seem like everything was all hunky-dory up until it was time for them to start being actionable. And that's when the cracks started showing in the foundation. They never was being true. Like, I don't understand what is so hard about saying, instead of being misleading, just say, you know what? I'm really just looking for a sexual relationship right now. I'm really just looking for a friend right now. Like, what's wrong with leading with that? But instead, somebody is sitting up here building up anticipation just to pull the rug from underneath you because it's about control.
Stop it. What?
This is about control. They want to control the narrative. They want to be the one that up and do stuff to be hurtful because they were hurt. Oh my God. It makes sense. They got left by this other person. So now they walking around here trying to hurt everybody else that comes along the path because that's what makes them feel good. And they call this being a part of their healing, but they ain't healed. They just as damaged as they was the first day it happened. Huh. All right, we got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this was never going to be a productive relationship if we're being honest. When I went to go pick this card up, the Nine of Wands was here again, right? So they're leading people to believe that they're ready to move forward in a relationship, that they're healthy, that they're whole, that they are ready to move forward. But the reality is they're not. They're doing this to busy themselves and to make themselves feel as though they are, what is it called? Ready? Like they're making themselves feel like, you know, some people just need that gratification. And it feels like they wanted to get away with misleading you, to make you feel like you had an opportunity, but you really didn't. They definitely take advantage of things, okay? This person is very smart and they know what they're doing. They know the game that they're playing. They know the game that they're playing. We got the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So they may have been telling you, you know, I go back to the comment that I made earlier. Go with the flow. Let's just see what happens. And it's, again, all relationships go with the flow and see what happens. Every last single relationship happens that way. But they were trying to eliminate or alleviate the pressure of expectation. But you set this up to create these expectations. So it's like you set the tone. And now that I'm following your lead, now you want to backpedal and make me feel like I am the Lulu here? No.
Stop it. What?
Do y'all understand how insane this sounds? But this is what they do. This is a part of their game. This person has a bad, I was about to say, this person has a bad heart. And I know that that's a strong way of saying it. But this person, they're not a good person. They're not a good person. This person hides a lot behind what they think other people want to see and hear, but they're never really showing their authentic face.
Oh my God.
And they're not showing their authentic face because if they were to reveal that side of them, it would show how fragile and vulnerable they are. It's like an armor that they're putting on. We got the King of Pentacles. Okay? They saw you as a prize that they could conquer. They wanted you on their team, but they wasn't ready to do what was required to keep you on the team. It's almost like somebody signing top talent and then putting them on the bench.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
You had every reason to run from that. I mean, this the NFL draft weekend. Why would you so ever go and sign the #1 draft pick just to put them on the bench and not give them any play time?
Wasn't good.
That is never, ever going to be the intent. But because you were picking up on their shenanigans, that's what made the shoe fall for them. They thought they could fool you, but they couldn't. They couldn't. And we got the Queen of Wands here. You are very, very, very much so alert. You know who you are. Your confidence is showing. You're radiating. You might have felt a little insecure, person A, when you started picking up on these things, but you wasn't backing down either. You wasn't backing down. You was like, something in this milk ain't clean. And you literally was trying to figure it out. You was trying to figure it out. And this person was trying to like avoid you. They may have been ignoring you, shutting down communication, not being as communicative as you know they can be, sounding irritable, sounding frustrated, doing everything they can possibly do to avoid the conversation. But I'm telling you, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This is a sheer reflection of who they are. Okay? This is a sheer reflection of who they are. Which is why I go back to telling you that you got to be so proud of yourself. Even though you're hurt right now, even though you're disappointed, you feel wounded, don't take ownership of that. Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some grace. Because you was seeing the signs and you was looking like,
child. Anyway, so
You just got caught up in what you thought was. But your higher self was telling you. Spirit was talking to you. Spirit was showing you. And every time they started coming around being hot and cold, agitated, irritated, moody, popping off about nothing, being short. Every time they kept doing that, you'll be like, where is this coming from?
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
But it was really Spirit throwing up those smoke signals. That something about this was not right. How many signs did you need? Ooh, look at that. Justice in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Baby. How many ways can I say it, child? You may feel like you were being stunned, pranked, but all of that truth that you was picking up on, it came out. It manifested. It was an imbalance in this connection. It's been an imbalance. That's why this is about balance. This person was going to never evolve to be more than what they led you to believe. They sold you a bill of goods, and it was only going to be a matter of time before they exposed their hand. It was only a matter of time. But I want to tell you this. Thank God for the closed door that you came across. If you are proud of yourself because you paid attention to the signs, you paid attention to the flags, you was paying attention to your intuition, I want you to write down in the chat, thank God for closed doors. I want you to put that down in the chat. Thank God for closed doors.
Goodbye.
Okay? Thank God for closed doors. It wasn't making no sense because it wasn't supposed to make sense. You could have been falling in love with somebody that was never going to fall in love with you. You could have been attracting yourself to somebody who was going to leave you hurt and feeling wounded and jaded and scarred and just bewildered. You could have been falling in love with somebody who was going to ruin your whole entire life. But I feel like you did the right thing. When this person exposed their hand, it feels like you just walked away from them. You was just like, oh, okay. That's how you feel? Makes sense. I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to play these games with you. I hear you loud and clear. The sirens are going off. It's time for me to move around. So now I got a question. Will this person come back? Will this person come back? Because right now, they may be avoiding you. There may not be any communication. They're in hiding. They're feeling guilty. They avoid things. Will this person be back? Yes or no? Yes, they will. Remember I told you this person is very controlling? Remember I told y'all this. This is about control for them. The Emperor came up in reverse, which is Aries energy, which is fire sign element, which is what we're talking about here. So very domineering, controlling, lack of discipline, rigid, stubborn, tyrant, and recklessness. Okay, so they will be making a comeback. They will be making a comeback. Y'all, if y'all ready to get into this and figure out the potential final outcome, I want you to put your paper, pen, notebook emojis, paper, pen, notebook emojis in the chat, because baby, it is time for us to figure out what they coming back to, what you coming back to say, what you want. What you want. If y'all ready to get into it, here we go. So as I was just sitting here and I was just thinking about this, I was like, when I said, what do you want? Spirit said they want control. They want to control you. They wanted to break you down. They get a rise out of this. Like when I tell you, this is the weirdest energy. I don't think I have ever picked up on something so strong like this, where a person just has to be in control. So if they do come around, know that they are coming around to try to build you up just to destroy you.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
But you know better. You know better. You know better. The Hangman. Okay? They're going to take some time to think. Before they come back, they're definitely going to take some time to reflect. They big time mad at you. Do you hear me? They are big time mad. You picked up on their game. You told them it all makes sense. You was comfortable and confident with walking around, walking away from them and leaving them. They're like, whoever leaves me.
You raggedy bitch.
When I tell you, they are so mad that you took control of your own life, your own relationship, your own destiny. They were not expecting for you to take ownership like that. You was like, okay, so this ain't working for you. Cool.
What?
You made it clear that I had a different expectation for you, or I had a different perception in my mind for you or of you. You made it clear that we were misaligned. And now that you had some time to take a step back and to reflect, why are you on my phone again?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Yeah.
You over here looking down at the phone like, what? What are you calling me for? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Be proud of yourself because you seen the games. You called it out. Your feelings is hurt temporarily, but at least you ain't get too much more further involved in this than what you did.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Look, y'all, I'm telling y'all, look, the devil. The devil. Now, when I went to go flip this card over, look what else came up, already flipped over. The Emperor in reverse. Okay? This person is very insecure. Very insecure. We got the devil and the Emperor in reverse. They love to drag people. They love to get a rise out of people by making people feel some type of way. This person is a controlled person. This person uses sex to try to dominate women. Okay? All right? They use sex. When I paused for a minute, I was about to say they may be doing something with sex magic. But they definitely do something with sex to try to control and dominate people. That's what that attachment is about. That devil card. And it didn't work with you this time. That's why they coming back. Because they still feel like they got something else to do. They feel like it's something left here for them to use, to manipulate. Listen, I'm proud of you for you. I'm proud of you for you. Because even if they do come calling you back, you over here just like, what, huh? But they definitely feel like they got something else to do. This person is big mad that their games didn't work on you. As I said that, the Eight of Pentacles. Look at this, real close. They're mad that it didn't work. So they coming back with a vengeance. They're coming back with a vengeance. They want to try to settle the score. Like, this is just crazy. It's like, what are you calling for?
A few moments later.
If we really being honest, I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. This person is not healed or ready to be able to do what they allege that they're able to do. And they know that. They know that. So even if they are calling you, coming around you, asking to kick it with you, you probably can go around them and not feel anything. But trust me, they're going to be trying because they're very vengeful. When I tell you they are very vengeful, they're very vengeful. They are this person is mad that they listen. They wanted to lead you on to get what they wanted to get from you so that they can leave you high and dry. I said that once already. I'm going to say it again. They didn't get a chance to conquer what they thought that they was going to conquer. Okay? So now they got a reason to come back. They probably going to come back to you and tell you, you know, I had some time to think. I had some time to reflect. Maybe I was bugging.
Oh man, not again.
And it's just like, what the hell is you talking about, man? It's just saying, are you well? Are you okay? Help. Why is this person so angry? Seven of Cups. The Four of Swords. The Knight of Cups. Okay, so we got the Seven of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Knight of Cups all upright. This person likes to have their cake and eat it too. They like to have options. They like to be able to play games with people. They like to be able to... It's almost like playing chess. And the reason why I say that is because with this Four of Swords here, they like to play possum. They like to make their move and they like to take a step back and wait. They'll make a move, they'll take a step back, and they'll wait. They like doing this to see what you're going to do. But what they fail to realize is that you have gone through a transformation. You have gone through a growth spurt in your spiritual journey, and you are being guided and you are being protected. So for you, it's like, okay, all the glitters ain't gold. All the glitters ain't gold. I'm not going to be tempted. Yeah, I was trying to make sure her eyes weren't open. Her eyes are closed. Don't be surprised that when they come back acting like they made a mistake. All right? Don't be surprised. When they come back acting like they made a big mistake, like they regret it, like they miss you. When they come back with all of this malarkey and lies.
I want to apologize.
I'm telling you, it's not true. The question that I was asking was, why are they so angry? I told you they're going to be like, I want to apologize. I miss you. I miss connecting with you. Okay? I miss you. I'm laughing because I can't really tell you what I would want to say. Okay? But they gonna try to wear you down. All right, they're going to try to wear you down. See, now that you done pulled your energy back, they going back to the drawing board like, huh? Huh? Huh. See, this game probably worked on somebody else before. And you over here just like, I don't think so.
Hell no. What did you say? Hell no. What did she say?
You ain't going. You ain't going. They thought that you was desperate. They thought that you one of them people, you just gotta have somebody. So they thought that you were the weak link here and that you would just rather settle for a piece of a man. But the crazy part is, like, y'all cool enough to hang out and to kick it, but they're not offering more than that. But then they want you to kiss their feet and be gullible and be naive. They want you to be treating them like they the king of Zamunda. Okay? They just want you to be whatever you like. No. They didn't even get a chance to really sample the goods. That's why they mad. Yep. The Hermit in reverse. The Seven of Cups again. The Four of Cups in reverse. They trying to act like they don't care. They trying to act like this ain't bothering them. Like they got other options, but they're bothered. They're bothered because their games didn't work like they normally work. They used to being in control. Temperance in reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Yep. It was off balance. It wasn't working. They're used to being in control. They're used to being the prize or being put on a pedestal of some way to make them feel like they got something going on. Like, and they probably do. They probably do. They probably do got it going on like that. You do. You got a lot to offer. But don't sell yourself short. Or don't overthink who you are either. Don't stop believing. Like, you ain't all that. It's so fascinating how people hide behind materialism to think that that validates worth. It doesn't. It doesn't. This person has a distorted perception of what a high valued person is. Somebody done lied to them and made them feel like they got more to offer than what they really have to offer. But the reality is when you operate from a closed heart and you lack integrity, you lack morals, you lack values, you lack a belief system, like, how robust of a character are you?
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure? Do you have clinical depression? Have you ever accidentally broken your mom's favorite coffee cup, and when she found out you did it, she tied you to a bed and spanked you with a metal spatula? If you said yes to any of these things, I don't care. And to keep it a bean, no one cares.
Everybody has issues. Everybody has issues. There's different levels to these issues. This person seeks to control, manipulate, dominate. It's giving me like puppeteer vibes. They're the type of person where they want somebody else to acquiesce to who they are, not have an opinion, not have any feelings or thoughts about things, and it's not good. Okay? Like, I know that you're taking it personal right now because you feel like you were blindsided.
You know how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation. Like, you know I'm not happy. You know I'm trying to see if it'll work out here, and I know that it's not.
But be thankful. Be thankful that this time you've seen it. Be thankful that you didn't let it go as far as it could have went and you stopped it early. Like your intuition was going off. Like you seen it. You felt it. Them red flags was slapping you all in the face. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. You knew something was off. You knew something was wrong. You knew it was something going off that was just not making any sense.
Crazy?
But now you know. Now you know. They was a fake, phony, and a fraud the whole time. They want their lick back because they're like, you not chasing me? You don't know what you lost?
It's all right, Mama.
No, I don't. It's time for you to get your own wake-up call. You ain't the person that you thought you was. You ain't the prize that you thought you was. You're not the gift that you thought you was. You're your own impediment. And you walk around here blaming everybody else for your problems. I've done the work. Really now, have you?
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
You've done the work, but you still playing the same games.
Bombacat!
I mean, make it make sense. But be thankful that you were paying attention to all of the signs. And don't let this person, because they threw you off and threw you for a loop, don't make them change you to be into somebody that you're not. If they want to go for somebody that's less than you, let them. If they want to go be with somebody who don't have those standards, let them. If they want to be with somebody who don't have those expectations, let them. But you've been picking up on it. You was sitting up here the whole time looking at every flag they was putting up. Green, red, or yellow. You was paying attention.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
And every time you try to ask a question to get clarity or even hint at it, they want to get all defensive.
Accusation. False accusation.
But here's the thing. They can't get mad at you because you saw and picked up what they was putting down. You can't get mad at that. They are only upset because you called them out. Of course I called you out. I'm not a dummy. I'm not stupid. I'm seasoned. I'm not naive. I'm experienced. I'm not gullible. At today's age, I know what a bunch of bull look like. And I seen it. And I want you to know that I ain't going. So be proud of yourself. They ain't made a fool out of you. They tried. Didn't work. You may even be, some of y'all might be petty enough to block this person, but I'm going to tell you, don't block this person. Watch how crazy they about to start acting. Watch how crazy they start acting. Keep that line of communication open. I want you to test this hypothesis. Keep that line of communication open. Because once you start seeing how crazy they acting, you really gonna realize just how much you dodged a bullet.
Oh, hell no.
And once you start seeing them for who they really are, you're going to be so thankful. You're going to be like, no. I'm telling you. I am telling you, surely it's today is Sunday. You're going to be looking at this person like, I used to think you was so fine. Now I'm like, pfft.
Absolutely not. Child, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Ew. You know, like, seriously. They gonna start showing their hand and you're gonna be looking at them like, what?
Damn you!
And at that point, you might get petty enough to finally block them because they won't take no for an answer. And at that point, you have every right to do that. But at the end of the day, again, it goes back to you having to be proud of who you are. It didn't work. Take back your happiness. Love on yourself. Get back out there in the world. Start dating. put an end to all of these relationships that ain't serving you, including this one, and put yourself back out there. Dust yourself off and keep going. Because if you really be honest with yourself and you put yourself in this person's picture frame,
she doesn't even go here.
It would have never been a real fit anyway. So they did you a solid one. They did you a favor. So how does this outcome aligns with what you were expecting? What outcome would you like to bring? Does this bring you relief, excitement, or hesitation? Let me know down in the chat below. Okay. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Pisces Tarot Experience. If you have enjoyed this reading, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and become a part of my growing community. All right. Especially for y'all that's watching behind the scenes on TikTok. I am trying to tell y'all, go follow me on YouTube. Okay. That way you can always come back and watch this reading whenever you want to, and you can always keep an eye out for even more engaging content coming your way. Remember, this reading is here for you anytime you need a little bit of guidance. So feel free to save it and replay it at any time. I love to hear your thoughts. So drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you. And if you enjoyed today's session, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. All right. If you would like to do a personal reading with me, I am booking at PiscesTarot.com, PiscesTarot.com. So don't hesitate to reach out. I will never reach out to you to do a reading. So if somebody's reaching out to you with my name, image, and likeness, you better know, okay, that person ain't real.
You are a scammer.
Okay. Now, I want to give a huge thank you to everybody who joined the conversation today, and a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you to the people who not only gifted me your time, your talent, but your treasure. All right. Listen, y'all. Everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind, patient, and gentle with others and yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Leave a little bit of love everywhere you go today, and I will see you next time. Closure. Close the door. It's over. All right? Bye-bye.